DJI has had one of its busiest years ever in 2026, pushing out the Avata 360, the Osmo Pocket 4 and Pocket 4 Pro, the Lido 1 and Lido X1, and a fresh RS5 gimbal, all while fighting the US FCC covered list ban that's kept a growing pile of its newest gear off American shelves. But the roadmap doesn't stop there. Leakers, FCC filings, and Chinese certification databases are already pointing to the next wave of DJI hardware. From a pocket-sized selfie drone to leaked prototypes of DJI's first full-frame mirrorless camera, here's everything currently leaking about 7 products that could define DJI's next chapter. And today's video is sponsored by no one. If you want to book this spot, just mail us. The Neo 3 is the most talked about small drone leak of the year. Leakers, including the well-known Igor Bogdanov, have pointed to a sub-250-gram body carrying open grille prop guards and a camera capable of 4K at 120 frames per second, a real jump from the Neo 2's more modest output. Registrations spotted in several Asian markets and a handful of accidental images from a testing facility have pushed confidence in a mid-2026 reveal quite high. What makes the Neo 3 interesting isn't raw specs though, it's the pitch. No controller required, palm launch simplicity, and AI tracking good enough that anyone can fly it like a floating pocket camera. Battery-wise, expect DJI to build on the Neo 2's roughly 1,600 mAh pack for a flight time comfortably past the 18-minute mark of the original Neo. Pricing should stay close to the Neo 2's $199 launch point, maybe creeping toward $229 for the version with extra batteries. If the leaks hold, this becomes the drone DJI hands to anyone who's ever said flying looks too complicated. The Air 4, based on a crashed prototype photographed by Jasper Ellens, shows a Mavic 4-style top cover with extra sensors, a night-flying LED beacon, and hints of a multi-lens camera module, essentially an Air that's grown up toward Mavic territory. The other camp, pulled from a Chinese drone registration app, categorizes the same model as a sub-250-gram aircraft, which would be a dramatic weight cut from the Air 3S's 724-gram frame. Most rumors agree on a dual-camera setup built around a 1-inch or 1/1.3-inch main sensor paired with a telephoto lens, upgraded O4+ or possibly O5 transmission, and flight times pushing toward 40 minutes. The Air 4 has now shown up twice in Chinese certification databases, which typically signals a launch is getting close, but there's still no FCC filing, so a US release stays uncertain. Pricing should land near the Air 3S's $1,099 starting point, possibly a touch higher if the sensor upgrade is as significant as leaked. The Mini 6 Pro rumors describe a stacked 1-inch sensor, 6K video, a mechanically variable aperture, next-gen O5 transmission, and flight time stretching towards 60 minutes, but almost none of it traces back to a verifiable source. The Mini 5 Pro only launched in September 2025 as the first sub-250-gram drone with a 1-inch sensor, so a full Mini 6 Pro generational leap this soon would be unusually fast even for DJI. More credible reporting suggests the real successor energy is actually going into the new Lido line instead, with the Lido X1 already positioned as the practical Mini Pro replacement at around $419 in Europe. If a genuine Mini 6 Pro does show up, late 2026 is optimistic and 2027 is more realistic, likely bringing refined obstacle avoidance and a battery bump rather than the dramatic sensor leap currently circulating online. DJI only just launched the original Avata 360 in March, so leaks on a true Avata 362 are still thin, but that hasn't stopped speculation about where the FPV meets spherical video concept goes next. The current Avata 360 shipped with dual 1/1.1-inch sensors, capturing 8K at 60 frames per second in 360 mode, a 90-degree rotating camera module that flips between forward-facing FPV and full spherical capture, and a battery that's already over 25% bigger than the Avata 2's. Chatter around a follow-up, sometimes framed as the Avata 3 successor, points to expanded rear obstacle sensing, sharper subject tracking for cyclists and vehicles using the full 360-degree field, and possibly a step up in sensor size to sharpen low-light performance. Given how aggressively DJI priced the original at roughly $499 for the drone alone, a next-gen version would likely land somewhere in the $549 to $649 range, depending on how much of the sensor and gimbal hardware gets upgraded. This is early-stage speculation, but the direction is clear. DJI wants FPV pilots to stop choosing between immersive flying and reframable footage. Action 6 only launched in November 2025 with its 1/1.1-inch sensor and variable aperture, but the rumor mill is already deep into Action 7 territory. Leaks point to a jump to 8K video at 60 frames per second, up from the Action 6's 4K/120 frames per second ceiling, along with rock-steady 4.0 stabilization, AI-driven low-light optimization, and up to 15 stops of dynamic range. A late 2026 release, likely October or November, would line up neatly with DJI's annual refresh pattern and put it in direct competition with the GoPro Hero 14 Black & Insta 360's Ace Pro line. Battery life should build on the Action 6's 4-hour runtime from its 1,950 mAh cell, and DJI is expected to keep its standard and adventure combo pricing structure intact, likely landing between $349 and $429 for the base kit and up to $579 for the fully loaded bundle. Nothing here is confirmed yet, but DJI's cadence makes a late-year Action 7 announcement close to a sure thing. Of everything on this list, the Mavic 5 Pro is the furthest from reality right now. The Mavic 4 Pro only became DJI's flagship in mid-2025 with its 4/3-inch triple camera system, and DJI simply doesn't refresh its top-tier drone on a yearly cycle. Most trackers currently list any Mavic successor as purely speculative, based on product cycle analysis rather than actual leaks, filings, or prototype sightings. If history repeats, expect DJI to hold the Mavic 5 Pro name back until 2027 or later, likely bringing an updated Hasselblad-tuned sensor array, extended flight time beyond the Mavic 4 Pro's roughly 51 minutes, and a price tag comfortably north of $2,500, given how the Mavic 4 Pro already launched above $2,200. For now, this entry exists mostly as informed forecasting rather than confirmed rumor, so treat every leaked detail you see about it online with heavy skepticism until real hardware surfaces. The rumor that refuses to die, and for good reason. DJI has owned a controlling stake in Hasselblad since 2017, already ships a 44.7 megapixel full-frame sensor inside the Inspire 3, and joined the L-Mount Alliance back in 2022. So the technical foundation for a full-frame mirrorless camera has quietly been sitting there for years. Leaks describe a boxy Sony FX3 style body with a corner-mounted electronic viewfinder, Hasselblad color science, and a sensor rumored to sit somewhere between 44 and 66 megapixels, depending on which leaker you trust. A cryptic, since-deleted tweet from DJI support, teasing a mysterious new product, only added fuel to the fire. Multiple projected launch windows have already come and gone without an announcement, which says a lot about how unpredictable this one is. But the L-mount access and in-house color science mean DJI genuinely has everything it needs to challenge Sony, Canon, and Nikon whenever it decides to pull the trigger. No credible pricing has leaked yet, but a camera positioned to compete with the FX3 class would likely start somewhere north of $3,000.